think at a young age, I was doing music and like didn't even realize it. Like my family is all music, man. Like my dad, like I said, he's a drummer. So I came up seeing him, right? And then my mom was an actress, but also a singer. So she was a vocal coach. So she was my vocal coach for a while until like we started butting heads. She's my mom and she's also my vocal coach, and she also was my manager. It was just like a lot, you know. But that was like my life. So by the time I was like 6, I was like doing stuff like locally. And then like by the time I was like 11 or 12, I was doing stuff like professionally. So like whether it was like plays or you know, dance, because I was heavy into dance. So I would like train and dance in like LA and New York, but I was living in Mississippi at the time. That's because that's where I'm from. And there's not much of an industry in Mississippi at all. There's no industry in Mississippi. So my parents created an industry for me with this business called Percussive Music Media. And they taught kids how to sing, dance, play piano, play guitar, play drums, write, or not write, but they would also go into this thing, which is show choir. And, you know, they would have performances and take us to travel and train in these different places. And so they really created it for me because they really saw something in me at a young age. You know, like I was in New York one time and my dad was in the store, and like apparently I don't really remember, but I was like dancing in front of all these people, and like he lost me and he comes outside and there's like a crowd of people around me, and like, you know what I mean, like stuff like that. So like as like they were fully aware and like, oh, like made everything possible for me, you know, and I'm super thankful for that. So moved to LA, I was like 11, 12. I actually moved to Atlanta first when I was like 12 or 11. So I'm kind of blurring on these ages, but anyway, super young is the point. And was training at this place called Gotta Dance Atlanta, which I met my manager now when this was like 10, 11 years ago. But at that time, had no idea he'd be my manager, and also lost touch with him for like a while. Anyway, to make this very long story short, like I ended up moving from Atlanta to LA, and I was in a group called Remix, right? And then I ended up tearing my meniscus, which stopped us from doing shows, and I really got into writing. So I was like, one of my good friends, Neon Gill, he's in a group called Ghost. Shout out to them, those are my brothers. They write for some incredible people. Well, I am and him had like the same manager, and they like left him the keys to his studio for like 2 months. So we were recording at the Future, which is the name of his studio, for like, man, like living there basically. And we would and I really got into songwriting and seeing like people really do it. Like it's a difference, like when you're seeing someone like make like something that regardless of how it's socially received, or if it's socially received as a hit, or if it actually goes #1, you just feel that, yo, this is a hit. You know what I mean? If it had the right budget, if it had the right visuals, this is a hit. Like having that feeling day by day and not even being a part of it, just watching it was what made me feel like, wow, like if I could create that feeling for myself, like that would be everything. Like that would literally be everything. You know what I mean? So that's what got me into it. And I started writing and you know, I started creating stuff, and I didn't even care if it was for me or not. I was just like, I just wanted to hear it, and I just wanted to feel like it's a hit. You know what I mean? That's the feeling that I was after. So after that, I ended up joining Mindless, and I tore my meniscus. So that kind of put some turmoil between us, and it wasn't not Mindless, but the group prior, and so that ended up being weird. But we stayed cool. We just couldn't, you know, be a group anymore. Joined Mindless, was in Mindless for a couple of years, and then that was the same thing. It was just on a way bigger scale. So that really changed like the way that I just at that point it was like anything's possible. You know what I mean? Like, you know, coming from where I come from, and like being alive when Mindless first joined, and being like the same age as them and watching them, and like knowing a part, and then being a part of it was just something that made me change my whole perspective of like life and what you can really shoot for. You know what I mean? So now, I guess all these years later, I'm still on the same journey, and I'm still figuring out, you know, how to get smarter on the journey, like how to do things, how to work, you know, smarter, not harder, or whatever. Like how to really be smart in the way that I'm promoting it, and how the way that people I'm working with or collabing with, like just really figuring it out in that regard. And Yeah, that's the origin. Like that's how everything started. I think mentorship is important. I think your circle is everything, right? Like my direct circle are the people that inspire me the most. So it's like that's why when you talk about things that keep you humble and stuff like that, my friends keep me humble. You know what I mean? Because it's like if you're friends with people that you think what you're doing is dope, but then you think like they think what you're doing is dope. You think what they're doing is dope. You might not even realize how much you inspire them. They might not realize how much you inspire them. But that's why it's like the circle is everything. The mentorship is everything because at the end of the day, like I'm the type of person like I have to see it, right, to like believe it in most situations, unless it's like something that's spiritual. But when it comes to like music, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to getting things done, it's like I have to know that like you're somebody that's like when someone gives you advice, you got to know that their advice is going to take. So you got to be careful about the people that advise you because there's plenty of situations where it's like someone's telling me something that I've experienced like 30 times, and they're like, "You should do this," and I'm like, "Well, here's the thing. I'm having I'm not looking for your advice per se. I'm just trying to figure it out myself in this moment. You know what I'm saying? But like, I've been through this before. So unless it's someone that has also been through this before, and I see that they've been through this and have succeeded with going through this, maybe time after time, then it's like, okay, cool. I might run to that person first and be like, yo, how did you do it with this? Because I saw how you came out the other end of it. You know what I mean? So I think just being smart about who you accept advice from, who you share what's going on with, like you got to just know it's yeah, man. I think also too, like taking yourself seriously is like the most important thing ever, and also not taking yourself seriously. There's got to be a crazy balance. Like, but I think like a lot of the times when people take themselves seriously, it's like funny and they're like, like, what am I doing? But it's like, no, like, all right, I need to like take myself seriously today. Like, what am I gonna eat today? What am I gonna wear today? What am I gonna do today? I need to get something done. I need to get these things done. You know what I mean? It's got to be like a constant self like reflection. Like, what do I need to work on? You know what I mean? Like, who do I need to stop talking to? Or you know what I mean? Like, just all these things that you got to ask yourself like every day. I feel like, you know.